Hi everybody, Ty Lord here with my movie pickups for the week. These are all DVDs and Blu-rays. No VHS or Laserdisc or video games, unfortunately. And I got yet another package from Retro T-Barone, my buddy Mario, from the Retro Wave podcast. Might want to check out his podcast coming up October 1st. Maybe you'll see Ty Lord in there, or hear Ty Lord. He sent me a wonderful package of goodies. Oh, I was wrong. There is one VHS in here. So, one VHS. Nice box of movies he sent me. He knows I'm a big Jaws fan, so he sent me this little toy Bruce here. Nice little toy Jaws with the oxygen tank. Very cool. I'll put that up on the shelf. My girls like it. They said, "That's the shark from Jaws." Anyway, got VHS. We'll start off with that wonderful movie, Excalibur. A story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. That old story, cool 80s, 1981. Cool. These cool old medieval movies from the 80s have a fantastic look. So I got that one. I don't think I had that one, so it's good. That's a good one to put up on the shelf. I love that cover right there. And then a couple Blu-rays. This one he sent me and I watched it last night, Triple Threat. This is really good. A newer action kung fu movie. Directed by Jesse V. Johnson. I don't know where this is filmed. If it's in it's somewhere in the East, but a really cool action movie. It's heavy hitters. All these are heavy hitters and martial art action movie stars. It says it says this is the Expendables of the martial arts world. It has a big cast of martial artists. Tony Jaa's in there. This other guy from Indonesia, what's his name? Iko Uwais. He's pretty cool in it. This guy. And this guy, what's his name? Tiger Chin. Kind of more contemporary guys, but they've been around for a while. And then Michael Jai White is in it. He's a bad guy in this. He's a real a-hole in this. And Scott Adkins is a real jerk in this. And he has his English accent in this, so he's the bad guy. I was thinking this. It just dawned on me when I was watching this. I want Scott Adkins to be James Bond. That just popped into my head when I was watching. He kind of sounds like Pierce Brosnan in his voice. Anyway, and then Michael Bisping, the MMA fighters in there. He's one of the thugs, part of Scott Adkins' team of mercenaries, and he's a real a-hole in this. He's pretty good in it. So it's about this team of soldiers that are going into this camp to rescue someone, and they take out this whole camp and kill everyone. Iko Uwais, how do you say, is in the camp with his lady friend and his wife, and his wife gets shot when the camp's raided by these guys. And Tiger Chin and Tony Jaa are part of the team, but they think they're doing humanitarian work, but it turns out these guys are just thugs, and they're trying to break out Scott Adkins, and he's like the head gangster of this group. And so then they end up double crossing. They end up double crossing Tony Jaa and what's his name? The Chinese guy. Yeah, Tiger Chin. Yeah, this guy. They end up double crossing them and leaving them there to blow up, but they escape. And then this guy, the Indonesian guys, wanting revenge on all these guys. So they killed his wife and took out his village. And he confronts Tony Jaa and Tiger Chin and fights them in an arena. he's trying to kill them because he thinks they killed his wife, but they're also, no, we got set up too. So then all these guys are working together to take down this gang, and they're trying to protect this Chinese heiress. She's like some heiress of a rich dude, and she's trying to help out the little people, and then the crooked gangs and everything that are running the show want to take her out. So these three guys end up trying to protect her too. So it's a fun little adventure movie. Kind of cool chemistry with these three guys, and then Tony Jaa and Tiger Chen are kind of a cool duo. It kind of reminds me of I don't know, like in one of those older like Jackie Chan movies. Anyway, yeah, cool movie though. I lingered on this one a bit because I actually watched it. I'll get through these other ones quick. All right, yeah. So he sent me triple action feature. I haven't seen any of these. Driven to Kill with Seagal, Too Young to Die with Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis, and The President's Man. The President's Man, A Line in the Sand with Chuck Norris. I haven't seen any of these. I'm really let down by the newer Seagal movies. I want to like them, but I haven't found any I really like yet. That Against the Dark was total trash. Oh, and then here's one I haven't seen. I haven't seen very many Jet Li movies. Red Dragon. So he sent me that one on DVD. So that's cool to have. Some old Tom Selleck in a Jesse Stone movie, Death in Paradise. I don't know if this was a series or a TV movie series based on a book series. I don't know. But I don't think I ever watched any of these. I think they've been on TV before, and maybe my grandparents were watching them and I got really bored. But he sent me that. I think he thought I'm a fan of Tom Selleck, and I am. I just never was really into this series. This is one I requested, the Scorpion King 4, with a heavy hitter cast lineup, a cast of all heavy hitters in here. Really corny. I've seen this on whatever it was, the Sci-Fi Channel, but it's got old Lou Ferrigno, Victor Webster, I think that's this guy, Roy Big Country Nelson, the MMA fighter, and Royce Gracie is in it. And then it also has Barry Bostwick, Emmett Walsh, and Rutger Hauer and Michael Biehn are in this thing. And Don the Dragon Wilson. So I wanted this for my Don the Dragon Wilson movie. I have most of his movies. I didn't have those. I already had this one, but he sent it to me anyway. Scorpion King 3. I don't remember this one too much. Batista's in it. Ron Perlman, Billy Zane. Oh, Kimbo Slice is in it. I think some lovely ladies in here. I'm not sure. Oh, that Victor Webster again. I think he's the Scorpion King. Anyway, I got that one. Oh my goodness. Seagal and Mike Tyson in The China Salesman. I think this is the one. I've seen the clip where Mike Tyson fights with Steven Seagal. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if this is any good or not. I don't know if I want to rush to watch this. And then this one here, I've always liked it, but it's a really hack of a movie. It says it stars Bruce Lee and Fred Williamson, but it's all just like archival footage of Bruce Lee. Fred Williamson's in it. This is like they're trying to find the successor to Bruce Lee after he's gone. And it's pretty much just like a variety show or like a bunch of skits and a bunch of interviews. Some of it's like acting. Some of it's like there's a real actual kickboxing match at the end. It follows around Fred Williamson. It has little silly skits, and it shows like the old movies Bruce Lee was in, like in the 50s when he was young, when he was an actor. It's really not really any coherent storyline or anything, but I always enjoyed it. It had funny little skits in here, and Fred Williamson's funny in it. So that's it for from Retro T-Barone. Thanks again, buddy. I got something else coming your way. Maybe some of the stuff I'll mention right here. So before I get everything I got at, I'll do my dollar store crap. I actually found some good stuff at the Dollar Tree. I think I found these nice Blu-rays. I'll probably send them to one of my buddies. Annabelle Creation. Some good horror movies. The Purge. The Curse of La Llorona. And El Chicano. With George Lopez. Oh, I think it's an action movie. I was thinking it was a horror movie. Oh, that actually might be cool. Okay, so there we go. And then a couple dollar store DVDs. Mario sent me the Great White BBC one. I found a hammerhead. So I got a documentary on hammerhead sharks, one of the coolest looking sharks. What's your favorite shark? I guess mine was always Great White because of the Jaws movies, but I always liked the look of a hammerhead too. And the bull sharks I like because I thought it was cool that they could go into fresh water. And then we got the Skyscraper with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I thought that was a good deal, $1 for. I've never seen that big high budget movie that was out at the show. Let me tell you something, Mr. Skyscraper. I've taken down bigger buildings than you. I'm gonna lay the smack down. Oh, it has a commentary on it. So. Very cool. And then I found the Brains That Wouldn't Die collection. This is all crap. You probably can get in a bigger collection than this for cheaper. And I think probably all have been parodied, or all have been done on Mystery Science Theater. The Brain That Wouldn't Die, I've seen that one. That's the gal's head's being kept alive in the dish. And then you got the Atomic Brain. I think I've seen that. The Head. Indestructible Man. Amazing Transparent Man, and Manster. Wonderful selection. They're probably all public domain crap I shouldn't have spent any money on. Very good. And then I'll show my one eBay purchase. I had to get this. It was a few bucks on eBay. I can't find it to stream anywhere. I think you can stream it for $2 on Amazon, but I don't want to spend $2 on renting something. And I couldn't. It wasn't on YouTube to watch. It's not on Tubi. I've really been wanting to watch it. Hyperspace with Richard Norton, directed by David Huey, and I think I mentioned him last time. I like a lot of his movies. Richard Norton's like one of my favorite action guys, and he doesn't really go heavy on the martial arts in this, but he's like a really underrated actor. This is a really cool. And it wasn't what I expected at all. It's got a wonderful cast. Richard Norton, Don Stroud down here from License to Kill, and what else was he in? I remember he was in King of the Kickboxers. But this is probably his best role. He's kind of like the bad guy in this. And then James Van Patten's a real a-hole in this. He's like the captain of the ship. And then it's got Ron O'Neal, Superfly's in here. He plays these actors are really good. And then my favorite here, Lynn Holly Johnson from For Your Eyes Only, that played BB, and she was also in Watch Her in the Woods. She was in a lot of stuff in the 80s. The Sisterhood, Sergio H. Santiago's The Sisterhood. I always liked her. She's a really good actress. She's really pretty, but she always kind of plays like an innocent girl. She has like an innocent look. Very cool in this. So this was not what I expected it to be. I thought I watched clips of it where Richard Norton is fighting. It's like a futuristic, like tech noir looking thing, and Richard Norton was fighting with Big John Studd, the wrestler, and here he has a fight with him, which is really cool. And he has a little scuffle with Professor Tanaka too, that big Japanese wrestler. You see him in a lot of movies. So I was expecting this to be more like an action, like martial art movie, like sci-fi, but it's actually like a deep space thriller. It's really good too. It almost seems like it would be a play. All these people are in the future. They have garbage men that take all the waste out to the far reaches of the universe and get rid of it. So they're like have to go out like in hyperspace, like a long way away to dump this dispose of this trash. So they're pretty much like garbage men. They're on this ship. Richard Norton was a cop or some kind of special forces or agent. So they would always flash back to him. That's where you see him fighting the guys like Big John Studd, and who are actually androids. And he hates androids because an android killed his partner when he was in special forces or whatever. So he just wants to get away and do something easy, some kind of stupid job where you don't have to worry about androids. Turns out there's androids on the ship, but anyway, the ship runs into problems. They're way out in space, and they run out of fuel for some reason, and they don't have enough to get back. And they're like millions of or however many light years away from Earth. So they can't get back unless like they go into cryo sleep and set the speed of the ship down really slow. So it takes like 30 years to get home. So they're all squabbling with each other. They're all a bunch of jerks except for Richard Norton and Lynn Holly Johnson. All these other guys are a-holes. Oh, and Ron O'Neill's a nice old guy. He's about to retire. But then they come up with a plan to the escape pod. If they load it up with fuel, one person could go back, and it would take like 3 months if they rigged it all up correctly. So they're all squabbling about who should go. Richard Norton comes up with the idea of drawing a straw, and there's another cute girl in here too. I don't know. There's a really cute other girl in here too. She's a B word. They're all jerks except for these two. but he comes with a plan to draw straws. And his buddy Ron O'Neill gets the long straw, so they choose him to go. And then they're all pissed off at him, like, "Oh, you just let him go because he's your buddy." And the captain's a total a-hole. He's like, "I want to go. I'm the captain. I should be the one that goes." But anyway, so then they all start getting at each other. They end up killing each other, and then it just gets uglier and uglier and uglier. He has a couple little fights, but not much martial arts. But he's a pretty good actor. Like he's like a stunt man and martial arts guy, but his leading roles are good. This is a cool like deep space thriller. I recommend it. Okay, and then some wonderful stuff from Rasputin's here. I've been enjoying a lot of these movies I find in these wonderful style cases. What is this called? They're kind of like jewel cases, but for DVDs. Some of them look like PlayStation 2 cases. They're really cool looking. I don't want this crap. I'm going to go send it to Jeff. And he's like, "No, I don't want any. I'm going to send it to Physical Media Mac. I'm going to send them all to him." And he says, "No, I don't want all of them. I just want movies I like," because he was complimenting these cases, how much he liked them. So I don't care. I'm sending them all to him. I don't want this trash. Maybe this one. The King's Guard with Eric Roberts, Ron Perlman, Leslie Ann Down. It looks like a medieval movie. Got Deadly Drifter with Danny Glover, Dennis Hopper, and The Inside Man. Wonderful cases. Check these out. They always have like a little insert that shows the other releases. And there's like inside art too. The Girl Next Door with Gary Busey. Yeah, these are wonderful. See, like they have nice looking DVDs, and then there's like inside artwork. Michelle Pfeiffer, The Power, Passion, and Murder. And then Lou Gossett Jr. in It's Good to Be Alive, Never Say Die. Probably an inspirational sports baseball movie. Marlon Brando and One-Eyed Jacks. And that one's sealed. I got these are all $1 a piece. Big City Blues with Burt Reynolds. And then the world's most famous detectives. I don't know if this is a collection of TV shows. Oh yeah, it's got Peter Gunn, Mr. Wrong, a detective, Bulldog, Drummond, Burke's Law, Richard Diamond, I don't know. Whatever. It's out of my hands soon. Okay, these. So the rest. Oh, one more of these. I paid $4 for it. I'm sending this to Physical Media Mac. I already have a copy of it, but this is a fantastic movie right here. William Friedkin's The Sorcerer with Roy Scheider. This is fantastic. This is a really cool movie. I think it's released in 1977, around when Star Wars was out, so it probably got overlooked. But everyone was hyped about Star Wars. There's a cool movie about these 4 or 5 guys are different criminals from different countries that are on the run. They all run away to South America, and they all join up and take a job where they have to transport this truck across the jungle. I think there's like an oil fire, and they need to take this this truck. It has like nitroglycerin to go blow up the fire. They're trying to take this truck through the jungle. All kinds of suspense. So they can't rock the truck too much or run into anything. Like, they have to be very careful, otherwise it's going to blow up. And really scary. One part, it's going across this little rickety bridge over a river. It's freaking scary. I don't know how they pulled this off, like the stunt team or whatever. This is a fantastic movie. Yeah, that's going to Physical Media Mac. Here's one I'm sending to Mario as a joke. Sanguinolenta Venganza. Does that mean like the Sanguine Vengeance? So it looks like a pro wrestler action movie. Like Mexican pro wrestler action movie. Luchador action. And then this one I'll probably send, I don't know, I should probably try to watch these, but I might just send them to Physical Media Mac. Wonderful pack here. 2 Dolph Lundgrens, Hidden Assassin, and Men of War. And then we're both big Michael Dudikoff fans, but I think him more so than I, so I might send him this. Bounty Hunters and Bounty Hunters 2 with Dudikoff. And I haven't seen either of those. Wonderful stuff. And then here's another copy of 3-pack Murder Machines 3 DVD set. He requested that one too. I already have this. This is wonderful stuff from Full Moon Features. It's got Murder Cycle, which I haven't seen yet. It's got Crash and Burn, which is an excellent kind of futuristic survival suspense movie. Really cool. There's cyborgs in it. What's his name's in there from Chrome Dome. What's his name? Bill Moseley's in it. He plays a cool part in there. And then Robot Wars, which is really cool. And that one has Barbara Crampton, I think, is in it. Yeah, but each DVD, each movie has its own DVD, so this is wonderful stuff. This is a great find for $1. So I got that one. And then the rest of this stuff I think is all for me. Yeah, oh, here's another one of those wonderful cases. But this one's kind of cracked, so I'm going to keep this one for myself. Lewis Carroll's Children's Fantasy, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I don't know if my girls would like this. I hope they do. This has a pretty big cast. Peter Sellers is in it. Dudley Moore. Fiona Fullerton plays Alice. She's probably really young in this. She was a really hot Bond girl in A View to a Kill with Roger Moore, when he would get all those young women when he was old in those movies. She played a Russian spy in there. She was hot. But she plays Alice in this. Speaking of James Bond, the reason why I like this movie, John Barry does the score. Not really my favorite John Barry score, but anything John Barry has a John Barry score composition, like just like ups the movie a couple levels for me. But this is a cute little movie from the 70s. I'll show some other kids movies I found. I dug through the kids section and I found some old favorites of mine. And then here is Hanna-Barbera's classic collection, Challenge of the GoBots. What do you think of that? I think I probably watched this more than Transformers when I was a kid. I'm hoping this is that mini-series one. It's kind of like a movie. Well, this was a cool show, just like Transformers. Came out at the same time. I don't know who ripped off who, but they come from this planet called like Gobatron, and it looks just like Cybertron. There's the bad guy robots that come down there, like Decepticons, but they don't really have a name. I remember there's a Psykill is the bad guy. He's a guy that turns into a motorcycle, and I think that there's like a female like car, and her name's like Thrasher. Oh, and Chopter or Copter or Kiltor or something. I forget. There was a helicopter guy. The main guy was Leader One. He was like a fighter jet. Like, and then there was like Turbo and Scooter and all the. And then they had three little human friends. It was kind of a fun show. And then I thought this was a good deal. It's a complete 2-disc set with a sleeve. Mary Poppins. This is a great kids movie. This is a wonderful movie with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. I don't know. I thought that was a good deal for $1. No one gives a damn about DVDs anymore. It's got all the inserts and everything in the little book. 2 discs with extras. I can't go wrong with that. Wonderful stuff there. Here's a series I used to watch when I was a kid. I'm hoping my girls will like it because all little girls like horses. Francis Ford Coppola presents The Black Stallion. I remember Mickey Rooney was in this, and the first part was kind of cool, like Castaway, like the kids on a ship and it capsizes, and he ends up on an island with a horse, and he becomes friends with the horse, and he tames it. It's like a wild stallion. And he learns how to ride it and everything. Then he takes it back to, finally they're rescued, and he joins like jockey racing and uses the horse. It kind of turns into like a sports movie at the end. And then this one was like really went off the deep end. It was more like an action or like a James Bond movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. Black Stallion Returns. But it has the same little kid in there. I don't think Mickey Rooney's in it. Oh, Terry Garr is in it. Yes, he plays his mom in both of them. Very cool stuff. And what? Oh, here's another one. Oh, I hope my girls like this one. I loved this movie when I was a kid. Christopher Walken and Puss in Boots. This is hilarious. All the little silly characters in this and the silly song. I don't know if you're familiar with the Puss in Boots story. He's pretty much just like a con artist, but he helps out his buddy. He's like a kind of like a humble miller's son, and he ends up getting a princess and the king, just because his buddy the cat is pretty clever and helps him out and talks his way into like royalty. But this is a fun movie. I remember it has little catchy tunes, like kind of like the Disney movie, like the little songs. Christopher Walken really hams it up. When he puts the boots on, he turns into Christopher Walken. And he sings all these little silly songs and dances around. The main guy in here is Jason Connery. He plays the young man, Sean Connery's son. This was a fun movie. I'm hoping my girls like it. And then, okay, and then on to, I was just recently talking with my buddies about how awesome From Dusk Till Dawn is. and I found a copy of From Dusk Till Dawn 2 Texas Blood Money for $1. Wonderful. And I remember I watched this because I was a big fan of it, but I don't really remember much about it. So if I watch this again, it'll be like watching it for the first time. And I see it's got Robert Patrick, who's a cool actor, and what's his name, Bo, the guy from Tentacles and Nightmare at Nightmare at High Noon, or what was that movie called with that zombie movie? Nightmare at Noon, I think it was called. Bo Hopkins. Yeah, and then I see Danny Trejo's in it again. He died in the other one. I don't know how he's back. Unless this takes place before. Maybe it's a prequel. I was thinking Bruce Campbell was in this too. I might be thinking of it. Oh, James Parks is in it. Michael Parks' son, I think. Who was in the other movie. So it's a cool one to have. We got some John Voight movies. I haven't seen this one. Odessa File. I don't know if it's a spy, a Nazi espionage movie. There might be like a manhunt type movie. That might be cool. Here's another one I like. I already have this, but I thought for $1 I'll give it to one of my friends. Really depressing movie, but really good. Dustin Hoffman, John Voight, Midnight Cowboy, with a wonderful John Barry score once again. Yeah, so I had to get that. I might give that to a friend. Am I already done already? Wow. Here's one I've been wanting. I don't know about The Black Hole. I don't know anything about this movie, but this was $1, and I see The Last Sentinels on here with Don the Dragon Wilson. Directed by Jesse Johnson. His name just came up not long ago. I forgot what he directed, but it was some kind of kung fu movie. You know what it was? Yeah, it was this one. Okay, yeah, so he's pretty good. Last Sentinel is like a post-apocalyptic cyborg movie with Don the Dragon Wilson, and Keith David is in it. It's a pretty cool movie with cyborgs and Don the Dragon Wilson doing karate and whatnot. So that was one of his newer movies, Don the Dragon Wilson movies. So I thought I would get that one for $1. It's not in great shape, but I didn't have that one. The Last Sentinel. Very cool. Shoot, what a mess. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by.